Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
You're looking good in a red cutoff. I feel like you have a lot of red ones.
Well, I have a lot of cutoff t-shirts, actually. Shocker.
Do you?
I have a lot of red ones because for two reasons. One is Boston Red Sox, New England Patriots are red, white, and blue.
What color are the Red Sox?
Usually they're red. Sometimes they're gray. And sometimes they have a new alternate uniform that's bright yellow and bright blue.
That's not...
Guys.
Okay.
What in the world are you doing? It's so hideous.
That's technically the opposite of red is blue and yellow.
And you know what the worst part is? They're like undefeated in those uniforms. They're so good. It's incredible.
Oh, are you superstitious?
No, I'm a little stitious. I don't find
medium stitious.
I don't find a lot of I never subscribe to superstition. I like routine. You know what I mean? So
I don't subscribe to superstition. I just try and control the world with my actions that have nothing to do with the world. Yeah. Well, okay, fine. Routine.
I wouldn't, there's a difference between like I have to wear my lucky pair of shorts versus like I better eat the same meal on game day so I know like my stomach won't get upset and I'll have plenty of energy.
Okay, that's,
you know what I mean? That's
having control over your environment. That makes sense.
Well, that's
but if
where
you're
it gets like murky.
If I ate bananas, they're unlucky or something.
Right. On the other hand, what if like one pair of shorts is way more comfortable than all the other ones? Then if I'm more comfortable, I'll play better. Then if I play better, I'll perform better. You know what I mean? It gets
But comfort can be emotional. So if it's emotionally more comfortable because you are superstitious, then you will perform better. Oh no, superstition is a placebo. I never thought about that.
Now you're really getting into it.
I should be superstitious. I just placebo my way to the Red Sox winning, I guess.
Bingo, bango.
I mean, that's extreme. What you're talking about, your own performance, which feels much more connected to your actions, feel connected to the result. But if you're talking about like not washing your socks because your hockey team won last time you didn't,
that's gross. That's gross.
All right, commitment.
It's gross.
I mean, I also, didn't shave my legs while the Pens were in the playoffs, but that's because they needed me.
Right. Aggressive.
They also didn't shave their beards. I just wanted in solidarity.
Well, you could have just not shaved your beard. Or I guess you didn't.
True. I've been growing for decades, trying to catch up to you.
Hey, your beard sucks, Ellie. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. Hot take.
I was gonna make a boobs joke about how bad yours are, but I think you got me beat.
Never had very big boobs. Really, what it should come down to is shoulders. Percentage of your body, shoulders. That's the attractive scale.
I'm going upper chest. It's mostly push. We're both on the same idea, but you're more a vertical push, and I'm more of a upper chest.
You see somebody, I think it's girls and guys. Well, I don't know. Well, it just feels like when you see someone with like bolder shoulders, you're like, whoa, what? You see somebody with a big chest, you're like, all right, I see. I guess it's more common, maybe. Although I've never been a calf man, and I know that people are obsessed with their calves. At one point, I was a calf man, but by default, it's because the rest of my body was so outrageously skinny that the only thing that resembled a muscle on my body was my calves. So I'd always be like, yo, check these bad boys out. And I'd spin around and I'd point my toe and flex,
It feels like calves are one that are more closely tied to genetics than external factors because everyone talks about it. Everyone's like, your calves are so small. Why don't you train calves? And like Dr. Dave Marconi, who came on, specifically tried to make his calves bigger. And he's like, I cannot. And it feels like you have more control over other muscles. Somehow calves just do what they want. You're either beefy or you're not.
Calves are like eyebrows. They just do what they want,
But maybe I'm wrong. And there are other things that are also just like so genetic and we think we have control over them, but we don't.
I mean, I think it's everything. And people are always like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's kind of like, well, you do this, you train, but also you're born with different stuff, go back in
Yeah.
time and change the, affect string theory in some ways. Give yourself bigger calves.
Oh my
Like I
gosh.
went back
Yeah.
in time
Change.
to give myself bigger calves. The Nazis won the World War II, but whatever. I have bigger calves, thank God. That's what's really important.
Heil, I have bigger calves. Wow. Mm. Okay, so
Is that what you wanted
chest,
growing up? Bigger calves?
bigger calves. No,
No,
smaller everything. What did you
you
want?
wanted
Oh,
smaller
right.
everything.
You had the calves.
I wanted. I guess when I was a really little, I wanted to, the typical like big arm, big chest, big arm. That's it. Who cares about anything else?
Mm-hmm.
When
Like
I
an upside
was
down ketchup bottle, like a calisthenics person who doesn't do legs.
Well, no, I didn't care about abs and I didn't care about
Oh,
back,
back. So
you
it's
know.
all push.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just because
And biceps. So it's a push
right,
day with biceps.
bingo. Which is it's my Tuesday or my Wednesday.
And you have 6 other days to do other
I
things.
know. And then when I was in high school, I wanted a bigger back for sure. And then when I was in college, I just wanted
Interesting.
bigger arms. And
You've
then
gone through
no,
phases of wanting bigger things.
oh,
What about a brain?
in middle school, I wanted abs for sure. Oh, I had brain oozing out my ears. In middle school, I wanted abs, and so I did a million sit-ups, and I got abs. But I also weighed 100 pounds. So I was like, yeah, check these out. But then my little twig arms, you know what I mean? It like
Yeah.
I hadn't quite realized that abs on a 95-pound person don't really mean as much
Yeah.
in my
They do not read.
in my analysis.
Mhm. Well, it does though. There are some people who are just like, oh, that guy has abs and don't realize the fact that they are, also low body mass in general. Yeah.
And almost malnutrition. Did I send you that video of all the bodybuilders, strongmen,
Yes,
and
we talked about this in an episode even. This
God, it
been
was so
laughing that
funny.
like abs are not
They're like, ha, ha, ha,
whatever.
ha, I have abs. I just don't care. And it zooms out and he's holding up like a skyscraper or he's literally holding up the sky. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, yeah, I guess that guy's pretty strong.
Yeah, I know. And as I'm trying to negotiate bulking, you realize that like lean has nothing to do with performance.
I
Holy.
know. I know. It has nothing to do. Yeah, I know. It's crazy too when you bulk and I mean, that's the fastest I feel an effect of food is when I eat pizza, bread, garlic bread, heavy Italian the night before. And then the next morning, my lifts are literally, factually,
Yeah.
numerically, noticeably way higher than
And you've made that connection. It's like every time. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And I kind of see it and I'm like, well, I hope it doesn't happen this time because I feel a little like blubbery. And then I'm putting up like crazy weight and I'm like, well, that's it. Pete, carbs work,
Yeah.
Carbs work.
Oh man, it's true. Although I just fasted. Oh man, you're gonna hate this sentence. I
Uh-huh.
fasted for over 24 hours and then took an ice bath, and it was so much easier.
Oh, cool. Did you journal about it? Or did you do a podcast about it? Did you vlog about it? How many selfies did you take while you did it? Was your
Look,
ice was your ice locally sourced or imported from Iceland? Because or was it North Pole or South Pole ice? Because that makes a huge difference. I mean,
yeah,
it's absurd.
locally sourced ice. I've been getting it from the 99-cent store because that's the cheap, like half as cheap. And on the bags, first of
Dude,
all, when I open the thing to the cooler, it smells unhealthy. It smells like not to be consumed by a human population.
there's
Like,
something about those 99-cent dollar stores where like you walk in and you're like, did someone leave an onion here 8 years ago? Because something is amiss.
a mix. Well, it's in the
It's
ice. And on their bags, it says confidently, ice is food. I'm like, why are you reminding me of that and smelling like absolutely not food?
Oh God, it's crazy too. I go to when I was doing my ice baths, I would go to the 7-Eleven down the street, and there was like a tiny little bag for like $5-6, I think. And then I just went to the grocery store, and it was like the bag was twice as big, 3 times as big of ice for the same amount, like the same dollars. And I'm like, is there an ice arbitrage I'm like not seeing here? Like, can I buy ice from here and sell it over there? These are it's just frozen water, right? Like, but yeah, it was bad.
I was just
water
texting with my parents about this, just a dad reference. I mean, my mom was a part of it
reference.
too.
Yeah, there you go.
But my dad owns an ice maker and sells it. He's on the other side of it. He's big ice. Okay.
He's drowning in ice, swimming in ice. He's like Scrooge McDuck,
doling it out to biohackers.
He's
Try
like
getting cold from me.
Scrooge McDuck in his tower, but instead of gold coins, he dives into like crushed ice. I guess crushed is better than cubed. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God. And Andrew Huberman goes to him, please, sir, can I have some ice?
Shaking his cup, but his metal cup is actually, it's like a scooper for his ice bath. That's so stupid.
Anyway, he sells it for half the price of LA. That is Pittsburgh ice. And you know what? I bet it's actually food too. That's ice that doesn't even need to go on your butt. You can go in your mouth.
That's Pittsburgh ice. Pittsburgh ice sounds like a sex move, or like a or like a thing that happens in gangs.
Pittsburgh iced me. Wait,
yeah, or like a bad thing that gangs do to like initiate their new gang members, or like some sort of a weird South American retribution.
Give him the old Pittsburgh ice.
Yeah, well, we found out he was skimming off the top, so we iced him. You iced him? We Pittsburgh iced him. Oh boy. I gotta lie down.
It's like an unconventional chess move.
Oh.
The bishop's on 3 and you Pittsburgh ice.
Ah.
You're the chess player.
He like slide. He tries to go a little bit and just keeps sliding.
It's like when you play something other than rock, paper, scissors in a rock, paper, scissors game.
People used to throw like firecracker or dynamite. Oh, I threw trash can. That means it sucks up the paper. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? There's only 3. Come on, man.
Trash can sucks up the paper.
Oh no, it sucks up the rock, but the paper clubs the
or the dynamite.
Yeah,
the rocket.
So stupid.
Anyway, I've been ice bathing for a 30-day challenge for a video. I can't believe this is my first time bringing it up to you. I probably haven't. I have
on the podcast is your first time bringing it up, but you've told me about it. How many days have you been doing it? 30? Okay, so probably 65.
I'm not at 30 yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. So how many days have you been doing it?
I think I'm at.
Because if I had to guess, you probably
13,
brought
14?
it to me 35 times. So
2 per.
Yeah,
2 per. When I get in and when I get out, text you.
Right on Shedge.
Wait, so you were doing it too, though? Didn't Lisa Crickfalusi convince you?
She completely
so
convinced
convincing.
Me. But I'm only doing it like once a week. And I was gonna say, my water tank or whatever, when I've moved into this place, it would take forever to get hot water. Like you turn on the shower, I'd literally turn on the shower and set a timer on my phone. Like I can't get in there for 5-6 minutes or whatever. And then finally it would get hot. So then I called the guy or whatever, and he came in. He was like, I mean, I can crank it up if you want, but it's going to be really hot. And I was like, yeah, dude, I want a hot shower. I'm a human being. So he turned on. And now I have no access to cold water, if that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. I thought
my cold is pretty warm now, So I've done the ice bath a couple times, but I fill my bathtub up and I dump in a couple bags of ice, and they melt immediately to the point where I was dumping in 3 or 4 bags of 7-Eleven ice, then all the ice in my fridge ice maker. Then I had a separate thing of giant blocks of ice that I was making one at a time.
Wow.
just like get it to, and then
A
I would
lot
get
of
in,
work.
and it would be cool, like what's the cold version of lukewarm, do you know?
Luke Cool.
Luke
Linda Cool.
Linda Cool. Hey, how cool is she? She was Linda Cool,
Linda.
my man. But anyway, so I would do it,
Pittsburgh
and I would
Icer to
get
make
like
sure.
I would get the gasp a little bit, but I wouldn't even
Yeah.
shiver. I'd sort of get in and just lie there and be like, all right, I guess I'm Linda Cold right now, and so whatever. I believe Linda Crick Faluzzi talked me into it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I believe more of it. I think 11 minutes a week is totally manageable, and especially if you're doing 4 or 5 minutes per time, then once or twice a week, fine. That makes a lot more sense to me. I think part of the reason that I didn't like it was I was so stuck on this Instagram video version of every morning I wake up and I immediately run naked into the sunlight and I shine my butthole right, or I get sunshine right up my butthole so I get vitamin D. Then I meditate for 4 straight hours in an ice bath, like upside down. Do I breathe? Of course I breathe through my skin. Like I was up in that, like, okay, guys, shut up. This is so stupid. But if it's really a dunk and you get in there for 5 minutes and oops, you meditate on top of it. So it's like a double whammy. And the
You
benefits that she was
meditate
talking
during?
about. But yeah, I mean, what else would I do? You play with your
Think
phone,
about
obviously.
nothing but pain?
That's meditation, baby.
Yeah, right? That's a good point. Huh. Interesting.
So I believe in the once or twice a week, 4 or 5 minutes each time. Pretty as cold as you can
That's
get,
so
but
hard
not
for me because
dangerous.
if I do the same thing every day, it feels sensible. And oh, well, I did it yesterday, so I guess I won't do it today. And then they're like, oh, I can't fit it in. And then you haven't done it in a while. And then it's like, it's not a habit.
What about your workout splits?
Workout is what I do every day. And then I have to shove in rest. I have to force myself to rest.
Right, but you don't do the same. You do shoulders every single day for the rest of your life? Or do you do shoulders and then you take off the appropriate amount of time so that your muscle can grow? And then when it's ready to be trained again, you train it again.
If I'm doing something else.
All right.
So I should, instead of ice bath, just meditate without
You get it.
bathing.
Yeah. Do your ice bath and then it takes you 36 hours to recover. That's your personal rule.
Huh.
Huh.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. That was an
Shut
easy
up.
solve. What else you got?
It is pretty actually well done. Yeah. Cause then it's like, okay, so don't have 2 blanks in a row, kind of, or 3 blanks. After 3 blanks, you then have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
then
I
2
mean,
blanks, it's like, oh, well, if I don't do it today, then I definitely have to do it tomorrow. So I should probably do it today. So then I just do it every day.
right. Right. But of the two of us, who has a tattoo specifically for the reason that she overtrained?
Let me check. Oh, it's me.
Is it your mom? Should we ask your mom?
So you think I'm ice bathing
Have
too
you
much?
shown your mom your tattoo?
She hasn't seen it in person, no.
What did she say when she saw the pictures or video or whatever?
Okay, honey.
Oh, God. That's the perfect. That's the perfect response. It really is.
I mean, she loves me
Honestly,
no
it's
matter how
probably a
inked
little
I
bit
am.
more. It's probably a little bit more like, okay, honey. Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a twinge of why
Huh.
and do whatever I'm not gonna. You're gonna do what you're gonna do,
Yeah. Like, huh.
but this is not.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I support it. It's one of those things. That's what I would. That's what you hope for, really.
Well, I'm interested to hear how she responds to this. Maybe she felt differently than I interpreted, and she thinks it's super dope, like I do.
I think it's great. I mean, well, I picked it. That's why I think it's awesome. I probably think
Thank you.
It's probably my favorite tattoo I've ever come across.
Not just your favorite one you've put on someone, your favorite overall tattoo.
Yeah, overall.
Wow.
I don't think I've tattooed
I'm
anyone.
flattered.
Have you?
There are about 4 people that have my art on them, but I haven't actually done it.
Oh, yeah. That's A kid.
Somebody has my outrageous logo. That's
That's
so
awesome.
cool. And yeah.
I accidentally stabbed a kid with a pencil in grade school, and he has a dot on his arm for like a year. And then a year later, I was like, dude, I feel so bad. Here, do it to me. And he goes, okay. And I was like, oh, wait, what? And I still have it. It's right here.
Wow. You say
I
a kid,
mean,
like, do you remember his name?
well, I don't want to say his name, but we were in the fourth grade, fifth grade, I think. We were grade school, not quite high
Do
school.
you think of him when you look at it?
Well,
Really?
I hadn't really noticed it in a while. It's just a gray dot. It's not like a thing, you know. And also, I have arm hair, so I don't like see it. Uh, but yeah, it's right there.
That's
Ooh, I
funny.
forgot about that one.
So that's a tattoo that you didn't ask for. Well, sort of.
Tattoo, I guess, right? That's also
Yeah, I guess.
pencil, not even
I wonder
pen.
what that's doing to your longevity. You just soaking that up for years into your
Yeah,
bloodstream.
it's making me stronger. My my blood's working overtime.
The graphite superhero. You just draw everywhere you go. Well, we know where he's been. He just leaves a line.
Oh, it's a line. I thought it was just my my footprint
Oh.
everywhere in gray. Oh, he really started running over here. And then it looks like he stopped on his run to get a hamburger.
uh, this is the part where Jesus was carrying him.
It's a great.
Okay, so wait, you think I'm doing too much ice bathing if I'm doing 5 minutes a day?
I think your
Again, it's
rule of
probably about Linda Cold. I do 35 pounds, so it's more than just 3 bags or whatever.
I would think that your rule of thumb would be you're overdoing it and you need to rein it in a little bit.
Ah,
I
yes,
don't.
indeed.
I just think that in general. Those specific numbers, I mean, I don't know. How many minutes a week? That's what Lisa told us to check out.
Yeah, I know. It's 35 minutes a week.
Well,
Oh
I
my
don't
goodness.
remember.
That's more than a network television show that I'm sitting in ice. What a waste of time. There's so much else I could be doing. Like showing people I'm sitting in ice.
I I think they're aware. I don't remember if she said that there was negatives. I only remember if it was like the benefits. Was it
Getting
a negative?
adapted. If you got too adapted, then you don't get the, and then you don't feel the effects. And
yeah,
some
that's
people like
true.
being cold adapted, she said.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. The
But
idea of you don't want to be adapted. The point is that it sucks. How
Right.
crazy. This whole
I
time
know.
I was thinking, I need to get tougher. I need to be able to deal with anything, including cold. No, the point is that you can't deal with it. The point is that it's hard.
And you embrace that suck.
Because I guess, yeah, even with lifting, it's like, well, you want to get better at lifting, but no, you want to continually challenge your lifts so that it is just hard enough that it's not easy. It should never be easy.
I know,
oh my goodness,
just barely hard enough, you know.
Yeah, 70% hard.
70.
So you stopped ice bathing, or?
I do it sort of when I feel like it. I was annoyed with my cold water situation, and I do make my own gigantic blocks of ice for booze, and so then I just started making a ton of those because I figured that was a better way to do it. Because
did it work?
Yeah, because it's one huge brick. It's like I make like a brick of ice, not like a bunch of little,
like the size of a glass, highball glass. No.
Yeah, pint glass.
Yeah, highball.
Okay. Well, like a water bottle, like a smart water. And so I just make a bunch of those, and then but then it's annoying because it takes so much longer because I fill the tub up, then I throw all those ice bricks in there, then I gotta wait like a long time for them to basically melt, and they're bigger, so that the whole point is it takes longer for a larger block of ice than a smaller block of ice. That's why our
I just get in right away.
That's why our planet is in such a disaster. Oh no, you got to let it get cool. It's facts.
No, because if I don't, they just all melt. So I'm like, get in there while they're still.
Right, but when they melt, that means the water is getting colder.
Is that true?
Yes. Because it takes.
No, that means that the ice is coming down to the cold temperature, to the. Oh. But I guess the water would come up to the ice temperature. It just seems to get like when I get in, it only gets warmer.
Sorry, yeah, that's your body. I'm just gonna look up uh
Physics.
if you have a high school chemistry class you could just pop into for the
Hmm.
next semester.
Okay. Technically, if there's any sliver of ice in the water, that water
Well,
is 32
technically.
degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius.
No,
In a
it's above that.
No, if the ice is in the water, then the water is that temperature. But the world is not perfectly technical like that, and the bottom is
You
warmer
just
than
want
the
to
top, and
you
the
just want to get in there and play with the ice. That's what you want to do. You want to get in there and mush the ice around and take a selfie and put
yeah,
it on Instagram and be
obviously.
like, "Look what I'm doing. I'm in this giant ice trash can. I am so Huberman."
Okay, well, it's a trash bag because it collapses, and yes.
It's like when people used
Also,
to do
I just got
those.
a chiller. I
Oh
know.
boy.
I forgot about this. So the trash bag that I've been using, sold several of them, and they were like, "Hey, sending me a chiller now." But the
What is
problem is
what does the
you
chiller
won't see
do?
the ice. I don't know. It's two tubes that go into the water,
And
and now
okay.
it's electric.
Oh, so you
Doesn't
really have
filter.
like a fish bowl or a fish
I
tank.
don't. I didn't tell them to send it yet. Should I do it?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
Okay.
You can't be getting ice and having this ice debate all the time. And once you finally get into some cold water, maybe then you'll feel the positive
Yeah, it's
effects of
gonna
ice
be
bath.
actually worse. It's gonna suck a lot more. This will be a different conversation when I can actually feel
Oh
cold, not
yeah.
LA Linda cold.
There's a superhero called Iceman. And do you know who he is?
No, is that the Frozone from
No.
once again talking about the
So
Incredibles?
originally, the original X-Men in the whatever it was, 50s or 60s, I can't remember. They had like really dumb idea of superheroes. So like they had a guy named Angel because he had wings, and they had a guy named Beast because he was really jacked and could he was like really acrobatic. And they had another guy named Iceman, and he looked like a snowman, and he would throw balls of ice at bad guy, and that was his whole thing. And then this is how cool and also like crazy it is. Like that's a simple-ish comic book concept, right? So then down the line, they decided, well, he's not covering himself in ice. He's turning his body into ice. And so he can freeze the air around him, and he would make like slaloms in
That
the
sounds like
sky.
Frozone. Yeah.
It was very much like that, he would completely, his body would be completely ice. And then somebody was like, well, if his body's completely ice, he could probably like have his arm like just shatter off and then reform a new arm with ice, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
everyone was like, yeah, I guess if you want to have a guy's arm get blown off in a children's comic book. And they were like, yeah, we do. And so the first time it happened, he got shot in the chest in his ice form. Somebody like shot a bullet through his chest or something like that. I can't remember. But he had this big hole in his chest. And he was like, I'm too scared to turn back into human form because in ice, I can walk around and I'm fine. But if I'm a human, I can't have a giant gaping hole in my chest. I'll die, I think.
Yeah.
And so for like a whole run, he was just stuck in his ice form and he couldn't do anything. He could, because you can't anytime you can't shake somebody's hand because they'll freeze their hand off, and he can't like, he had to stay in his little ice thing or igloo or whatever. But then he turned back into human form and he survived. And then he was like, oh, wow. So maybe I actually just control what was it, like humidity or something. And so then like
Ugh.
he would melt himself into a river and float down the river. His molecules float down the river, and then he'd reform like down river as another human. And then at one point he like turned half the world frozen, and he was like, if I really concentrate, I could just freeze the whole world. And I remember thinking, like, even as a little kid, I was like, guys, this has gotten out of control. We just had a snowman who was throwing snowballs at bad guys. And now this guy, like, he's going to freeze the earth. Like, what are we? All right. Yeah. All right. I'm in. Screw it. You know what I mean? Like, it got so weird, but I was like, yeah. All right. But that was it. It kept happening. They love doing that stuff. Isn't that
And
weird?
that is how I feel after one ice bath.
Right. So the power, the trajectory of your powers is probably somewhere along that line right now if you continue to do ice baths. I'm excited for you. I'm very excited.
I'm excited to make a slalom to your home and slide my way over.
Yeah, he would literally, like, he would have these ice platforms and he would slide, he would form them with his hand and he would slide. It looked like he was surfing, but he was creating the wave. And so there would be all these like gigantic ice paths through New York City because Marvis was New York. And they'd be like, gee, where's Iceman? And you're like, well, you could just follow the path.
Oh, it sounds like Graphite Dude. Yeah.
It's exactly like Graphite Dude.
See, now I want to know if Iceman is single because my ice budget is not as high as it needs to be.
I know. He'd be like, there you go. $40, please.
Big Ice still gets him. All right. Well, I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know if this chiller is going to change my mind.
Oh, I think it'll be a lot easier. It seems like it'll be like it. I would highly recommend you getting it, and I think it's going to be an easier way to stick with it. You're getting rid of all the like.
It is
hurdles.
a hassle.
It's
I've
like
been bonding with Braxton because he walks with me to go get the ice, so he's going to be sad that
get him his own ice
happened.
tub.
Oh right,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah, I still am gonna have to refill it because I don't think it does like the filtering. Those really nice ones out there that are basically hot tubs but for sad people.
Right, cold tubs.
For not fun people.
So this thing is just a cold. It just makes it cold. It doesn't filter the water.
Yeah,
I guess
it's a tank. It looks like a car battery, and then 2 tubes that go in.
How long does it take to cool down?
I don't know. I gotta look it up. I know. And it feels weird having electricity right next to my. But I guess that's a hot tub.
It's a battery. You're not gonna. Worst case, you get a little like mini. It'll be uncomfortable, and you'll just get out. Best case scenario, you turn into Iceman. That sounds like.
Hey! And I slalom my way through town, and then I'm ice adapted, and then I can't ever fix my depression and poor circulation. And
every bath I take is an ice bath. Oops.
Oh no. Okay, water chiller. Sorry, go ahead.
You could help other people on their ice bath. You'd be like the Wim Hof of ice, except he's kind of the Wim Hof of ice.
He is. It says works indoor and outdoor. Oh, imagine this in my carpeted apartment. I am imagining it right now.
I would not imagine that. That sounds terrible. You know, also, like, I don't understand it. Rooftop pools. How is that? How? Is that
that's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight.
That was a good point. I was worried about putting a squat rack in a That's
I remember
crazy.
you had it in that other room, your squat rack. That was so ridiculous. Did anybody live below you?
Yeah, multiple floors.
Did you drop the weights, or were you too strong to drop weights?
I stopped doing Olympic lifting, that's for sure. That's when I switched to a powerlifting program. So no, I had delicately set down deadlifts, but my PR during that time at COVID was 235. 236 because I taped dumbbells to the sides. I ran out of weight. So I was able to set down 236. But you think about a refrigerator.
Sure.
That's super heavy.
That's very heavy.
I could definitely put a cold plunge on a not bottom floor.
I could put a cold plunge wherever I want.
37.4 degrees, rapidly cool water to an invigorating level. Now I'm getting
Invigorating.
nervous. You're making me nervous.
Oh, it's gonna be fine. It's what could I possibly make you nervous about? How cold you haven't? Are you realizing your water has been Linda cold instead of cold?
Well, and I have a, meat thermometer. I was wondering if I should just stick that in. What's tough is that it'll be the top, right? So I
You
can't
know
really tell.
they
I
have
want to
those
know how cold
floating
it really is. Yeah.
they have those
Oh,
floating thermometers for hot tubs. Just get one of those. And they make really
fine.
cute ones too. It looks like a duck. There was one that looked like a penguin. Because his head just like bobs in the water. But you do have to mix up the water. Remember, I forget what that other company was, but that was at the ranch event we went to. I'm forgetting the name right now. Pure Poise.
Mm, toys.
Remember, we went to the Poise event and they had this cold tanks and they looked like salad bowls, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they had a machine in it that circulated the water because God forbid the water wasn't as cold everywhere around you as it could
No.
possibly be. But I will say they're right. Like you get in the ice bath and you just sit there and you're like, all right, this isn't that bad. And then you like do a little shimmy and you're like, oh, okay, yep, it's cold. It's colder than I thought. And it's because it's your body heating the water
Right, that
around you
little
a
bubble
little bit.
around you, which makes a huge difference. Now
It'll
I'm
be
now I'm
fine.
also confused. They have two different versions, one that's premium, the one that's standard. And the standard is 41 degrees Fahrenheit,
Premium.
premium is 37. So that's a 4 degree difference. I'm like, why does that matter? And now I'm thinking 4 degrees probably feels really different, doesn't it?
Um,
I would think the reason that they
I
made a
would
premium.
think.
Uh, anyway, nothing on here says how quickly it cools it, which means probably not fast.
Um, you never know. You never know.
Wait,
Also,
did we establish? Are you still doing it, or you're? It was too much of a hassle. You didn't feel any results.
I'm doing it. I don't have a set routine for sure, but
Okay,
I
but
try to
like
do it
twice a
once
week
a
ish.
week or twice a week. Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
You would do it for wrestling, right? For recovery, not some
Yeah,
Zen meditation BS. It was just, yeah, we're gonna be able to wrestle again faster. No?
it was. Yeah, after a heavy workout, it's sucked. But it was definitely. You could tell like you recovered. You weren't sore. You weren't as sore, and you didn't. It took longer to get sore, and you didn't get as sore.
But you also didn't gain as much muscle. We? I feel like I brought this up
Yeah.
to you and you hadn't heard it. So you have heard this?
No, I've heard of it when you brought it up to me, but now then looking back
Yeah.
on it, I was like, great.
So
Sweet.
I've heard that ice bathing after a heavy lifting workout will cause your body to not have the response to build more muscle because you feel less broken down. The point is that you're breaking your body down so that you bounce
Yeah.
back. And if you stop that process, you'll get less human growth hormone, you'll build less muscle with each training session. You may bounce back faster, but you won't bounce back bigger. So I should have asked Lisa too, because I'll ice bath before my heavy leg day. That's probably okay, right?
I think so. I
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. Good
that's
question.
probably okay, right? Is every fitness guru
Yeah, that's every
and honestly every study, because it's probably okay, right, for this group of people and or these white males or whatever, and it's very different for other people. Ugh,
I know. It's a mess. It's all a mess.
I'm
I
surprised you didn't
think
bring up the fact that I'm drinking Prime right now.
oh, are you drinking Prime?
Damn.
Are you spawn? Hashtag spawns?
Uh,
Nah.
Logan Paul showed up at my door with a box.
Wow, a cutout?
No. The real one. I have my own cutout. I don't need his. No one showed up at my door. They sent me this. It is there. This is not a sponsorship. They were just like, here, have some Prime. And so now I'm drinking Prime.
And how is it?
It's like sludge. It's like very sweet sludge.
Sounds great.
I just did want to bring it up because I've been holding it as though it's a product placement, but the placement is don't drink Prime. This stuff is.
I had a Gatorade the other day. Throwback.
Wow, what is this? The 80s? Was it full calorie?
Hangover. Full calorie. I watered it down.
I started doing that with Prime. That's so funny.
It's so much better. Like I can't even. Great and I did figure that out. I mean, I have such a weird. I mean, I suppose everyone does, but I have such a weird, specific body of knowledge, like from cutting weight and being dehydrated, and then trying to rapidly rehydrate, and then exercise as hard as I possibly could. So when I was dehydrated, I'd weigh in. I would just stop. I'd drink a ton of water a couple of days, flush out all the salt in my system, stop drinking all the water, sweat as much as I could. Boom. I'm 5, 10, 15 pounds lighter than I was last week, 2 weeks ago. Then you weigh in. Then you have an hour or two before you have to perform, and you want to get as hydrated as you can as fast as you can. And so I would chug Gatorade, and then I'd be sick to my stomach, and then I felt like I was going to throw up. And usually it was so, I guess, acidic. I don't really know what it was, but I would have a very acidy taste in my mouth, and my mouth felt like sticky, like too much sugar, too much salt, too quickly. So then I cut the Gatorade with water. You just cut it with like some half a glass of water. And I hate to say it, it worked incredibly well. And I would have to sip it. So I couldn't chug it. And I would like time myself.
This is a very specific case.
Right? Isn't that so stupid that I know how to do that now?
Yeah. So dumb. I feel like you and bodybuilders, and then maybe Gwyneth Paltrow before she goes on the red carpet have all the same process for performing.
Right.
And it's a very niche market, but you've nailed exactly what you need to do.
The few, the proud. What is her performing?
The dehydrated?
She just has to walk the carpet, right? And then she goes to gets her picture taken.
And then you go eat at the event.
She's clocking into work.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I still need to do a dry fast just to see
a cut.
That's one where I'm like, weight? I don't know. Yeah. Just want to slim down for photos. How stupid that anybody does that too. I'm talking to you and Dawn Saladino. We have Photoshop.
I know. And AR photo now.
Yeah, what the heck? But no, I want to try a dry fast. That's one where it's like my overtraining brain should not let me push too hard. I would very much need to hold it back and try and do it in a safe way.
You'd feel so crappy. You'd feel so crappy that you're like, this is too stupid. Something's wrong.
But that's what everybody says about not eating too. And in fact, I do not feel so crappy.
No.
See, so that I need to do it so I know what you've been through too. I'll put on a trash bag and I'll go run to the top of the whatever's in Philadelphia.
The Rocky statue.
Yeah.
Well, fine. You should do all that. But after that, then you should weigh in, and then within an hour have to exercise as hard as you could possibly exercise.
Who invented this process? How stupid. Let's do it to kids.
I know. Let's do it to adolescent growing kids. Like grade school, high school. That's not important for their body development or anything. Or ideas on eating habits or just any sort of eating disorder, or it is a mess. But definitely try it. It's definitely worth knowing that it sucks.
I feel like I should take your word for it. But
you know what the other worst one is?
It's been so long.
I know. I probably couldn't do it anymore.
We had that photographer on whose name escapes me at the moment. because I'm dehydrated, where he was all about dry fasting.
Oh yeah. I don't buy it. People are like, "Oh, I dry fasted for the last 9 days." I'm like, yeah, dude, you didn't, because you're dead. Or you're not dead, so you didn't, Let's
Mhm.
get it together. But I don't know.
But
I
there
don't
is something to be said about the Aboriginals being I know. Indicative in indigenous culture is going to bring that one up. The
indubitably.
Aboriginals living in the desert, drinking significantly less than us and performing. They have trained their body to not need water. And I'm in LA, glug 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 glug. I'm going to live forever. Just is that a reliance on a substance where I should be actually stressing my body out in that way as
Yeah, a
well?
substance meaning H2O. I don't know if that
Mhm.
counts as a substance. It's like, why do I always rely on sleep? It's so ridiculous. Like, ugh, that's like a third of the day. Ooh, wasted. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna figure out how to sleep faster, and then I'll accomplish so much more. It's like, yeah,
That's
bro,
actual
go
Dave
for it.
Asprey, right? He even sounds like
Yes, I
that.
do. I know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
Like I'm gonna sleep more efficient in a separate bed from my wife with
Right. Sure,
headphones
pal.
and eye covers and in
Yeah.
a coffin.
And
Um,
a personal assistant. You know what I mean? And someone
mm.
who does my laundry. And you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on.
I did try the Uberman sleep schedule once.
Which one's that? The 4 hours and
You stay awake for 4 hours, you sleep for 20 minutes, you stay awake for
the
4 hours,
naps. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
repeat.
remember that.
It
Yeah.
was a weird blur for a week.
I bet.
And I was getting there. I was getting close. And then I got a job interview at
Yeah.
Pixar and I had to fly to San Francisco. And I was like, this is impractical.
This is stupid.
So I slept and I performed at the interview and never went back to it. Should I try that? Oh, that'd be an
Uh,
insane video. Oh my God. Imagine trying to tell a story of how you're feeling as you're feeling like that in a comprehensible video.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't.
I know that. So I've also been wanting to stay up all night and so eat a meal, whatever it specifically is with the amount of carbs it has, or maybe even something specifically carby, like a piece of cake, and then stay
Okay.
up all night. And then that same time that next day, eat that piece of cake and compare my blood sugar. And I imagine it will be bonkers. It will be so bad the second time compared to the first time because I hadn't slept. And that would be an awesome video and an awesome experiment. And the CEO of Levels was like, yeah, I didn't ask you to do that.
In fact, I'm explicitly telling you not to do that.
No, but like that sleep deprivation in studies just doesn't happen. They don't do it because it's so awful
Horribly
to
dangerous and
humans.
awful for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
they
steer
got rid of
clear.
it for any records on the Guinness World Records.
Mhm.
Won't let you do any sort of sleep deprivation for your record.
Good. That's awful. It's so bad for you. I can't even believe you're thinking about it.
I know, because we've learned, and it's been this podcast. I'm pretty sure the first episode we recorded, I was like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And now we're on episode 184. And I'm like, I will sleep is life. I will just sleep my life away. That is what living is.
Living is focusing on sleep.
I'm like, Mom, how's your sleep? Can I buy you a mattress? Do you need are you cold? Are you hot? How did we do last
You
night?
sleep tepid? How are we sleeping?
And by mom, I mean anyone I sit down next to at a bar, and the
Oh
Amazon
my
delivery guy,
God. I know.
anybody.
I tell them all. I tell anybody that'll listen, and they're like, I got it. I got it. And I'm like, I have a link if you need. And they're like, no.
No, and it feels like I'm trying to push an affiliate deal, and
I
really
know.
it
And
is like,
I'm
no,
not.
I'm trying
I'm
to make
like,
your life better.
just buy it, dude. Please buy it. I'm like,
What if
dude.
I told you you could buy one product that will make you happier, perform better, feel better, improve your actual mood, make you do better in the gym, make you smarter? One product.
Sexier. I will say, somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody put it really well. He was like, if sleep was a drug, it would be illegal.
Performance
A performance
enhancing.
enhancing
Yeah.
drug, it would be completely illegal. And I'm like, that's a really good way to put it. That's the perfect way to put it, actually. I wish I thought of that.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like snake oil, right? You're like, oh, is something wrong with you? Just rub a little sleep on it.
I know, but it's not wrong. It's exactly right.
No, it really works. Ah, all right. Well, I'll let you know. I'm next time I ice bath, I'll give you a little text.
Yeah, that's what I need. It's like the Apple Watch alerts you when your friend works out.
Yeah.
I need that when you're like your body temperature drops slightly.
She's nice that. Oh no, it's 8 sleep.
Can I?
I'm mad that the Apple Watch doesn't have ice bath as one of their workouts because I do want to track that, see what my heart rate does, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
The difference between 41 degrees and 37 degrees.
Something around 4.
Get out. I don't mean difference as subtract. Get it. Never mind. Forget it.
Okay. I will. Never mind. Thank you.
If you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us out a whole lot, and we will see you next week.